So this is going to be a quick guide on how to make a basic smoker. Now this is going to be a guide to make it as long or big as you want it. We're not going to make it too big, but you're going to start off with 2 smokers. With this, you're going to need some hoppers. So we're going to grab some hoppers like so. And you're going to need to go out to 5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on this block right here, you're going to want to place 2 blocks like so. They need to be solid. On the side, they can be, actually you don't need anything on the side. You want to grab your power rails. You want to grab any block you want of your choice. And then this is, you can go as far as you want out, but for the video, we're not going to go out too far. And then you're going to want your power rails like so. So it should look like this. So you got 5 hoppers right here. You got your crafters, you got your solid block, and then you got as far as you want to go out. We're not going to go that far. We're not going to make that many smokers. And then you got your second solid block. With this, you're going to grab your minecart, and you're also going to grab some redstone. And if you made this really long, you're going to want to make it sure that all of these are bright red like so. So if you're going out 30 or plus more blocks, which you should be, it shouldn't be this small unless you have a really small base. But you got to make sure they're all powered. And then with that, you're going to go like this, and you're going to push them. And then now they're just going back and forth. They're collecting what's above them, which are going to be the smokers, which are going to be the kelp. And once they get over here, they're going to put into this. That's why it's stretched out long enough so they have enough time to put all the kelp they got into this. And then the dried kelp will get crafted. And then this will spit out with the clock system on top of it. This will get spit out into a little water stream and then to your collection. So this is what the first layer should look like. We're just going to break that and place this so it looks better. And you have to push it like so. And then on top of these, you're just going to want to place some smokers. So all over the power rails, you're going to place smokers. It doesn't really matter. We're going to just stop those for now. It doesn't really, well, it does matter for you, but not for me. I'm in a creative world. So it should look like this. On top of them and on the side of them, you want to place hoppers like so. So on top of them, place all these hoppers. And then I go to the side here. You can also place hoppers as well. So it should look like that, not too hard. On this side, you want a solid block like so right here and right here. On the side, you want to place glass. If you actually don't need to place glass, but I'm just going to have glass here. And then you want to place power rails again onto here. And you don't want to place power rails on here. This is where your water's going to go. And just like before, you want to power them. So we're going to line it up with the redstone we have down below, just so it looks better. So now they're all powered. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to get some packed ice, like so. And you're going to go out 4, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to go out 4 from this block. So 2, 3, 4. And then on these 2, you're going to go out again so it matches that. And then this is where you'd make whatever you put here onto here. And it would flow down, and then it has to turn. So you'd make exactly what we did right here onto this side. From here, of course, you have to have a barrier like so. So we're going to place just some glass around the hoppers right here so the water doesn't flow out. And then something so it can wrap around. Now the only confusing part about this is the fence gates here. So you want fence gates out in the last one like this. And then you're going to have your water like so. And then you're going to put a chest in the corner here. Fence gate, fence gate, fence gate. And these are open. Every fence gate you place should be open. You're going to place water in here. Now what this does is it hits the kelp right here, and now it's going to be in the middle so it can flow into the middle. Now if you have any source of kelp coming through this way, which you will need, so say for instance this will have to be glass, so packed right here. So any kelp that's coming through here, so say for instance you got kelp going right here, It has to go in the middle, so you're gonna have to do this, the fence gates, just like you did before. That way it gets flowed out and it goes into the middle here. So we can actually do it right here. So whatever kelp farm you have, it's getting flown into here, and we're gonna have our little fence gates here. So 1, 2, 3, they're all open, boom. So now if you place any item, for instance, we'll just use redstone block, it gets hit and then it flows into the middle. You're gonna need some iron bars like here, and you're gonna place them down. And to know how much you need to place, you actually place water. I believe it's 8 blocks. And then once this one's last done, that means the water source is out. So you're gonna switch to the other side, and then you're gonna place water down like that. And then it gets flown into here, it goes here, and then you have this whole system on this side. And I can make this a little better. This is kind of compact. I just wanted to make it so everybody, and it's for like all sizes. So if you have a small base like this, you can have what, like 2 sides, 3 rows of this. So it's like 30 or 40. Or you can have like my base where it goes out 30 and then it goes out a couple rows. So it's like 750. But this is just a basic little example. Now the last couple things we need to do is the blaze rod storage. So you want to go down 1, and you can go down 1 more like so, and then extend it out like so. And then this is, we'll do 1 more actually, so it's like that. And then this is where they'll connect here, and then this needs to be a solid block. Like I said, if it's not a solid block, we're just going to use cobble. There we go, nice achievement. And this also needs to be powered too, so you got to make sure these are powered. And then this is where you'd put the chest like so. Oops. So anytime the minecart's under this, like for instance, it's going to grab it. And for instance, yours will be running because you have redstone. It'll go up here. It'll get filled up into all of these hoppers, and then it'll come back down. For this, you can just have an easy water source. So something real quick. Pretend that's packed ice, you know, and then it kind of wraps around here, and it keeps wrapping around until they're all filled. Or you can manually fill it up. Of course, if you want to extend this out, you'd pretend this is ice. It'd go around here, and then it goes out here, and then it'll go back. And then you have the hoppers, for instance, would go into your chest like so. So that's that. The last thing you'd want is down here, you want a basic redstone clock. So we're going to get that going real quick. We'll do... Let's block. So you want redstone over this, and then we can make like a little nice little area for our clock, like so. And you want something like this. Like if you want tick, make sure this is on right here, and that's over. And then you want a torch, like so, and then should be able to, oops, turn it on. So now this is being turned on every second, and you can make it slower, faster, however you want. And then if you were going to do this on another row, these are where the crafters would be. So it's every 2 blocks is where the crafters would be. And then you'd make the exact same thing right here. And of course, you'd place this down like that. Now, as further you go, it will lose the connection. All you got to do is place, for instance, a repeater here. So now you're good for a couple blocks, and do it again. Do not place the repeater on the crafter. As far as the collection, you can just go like this, and you can have a water source here going into a chest. Make this too high because it will shoot above 2 or above 1. So make sure it's like that. And this can be glass or whatever you like it. And then that's how you do it. So that's very basic, simple, kind of messy. If you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, so that's how you make it.